Voguing is actually modeling. That's all it is. And in the ball world, people didn't have the opportunity to be, superstar models, so they would compete against each other on the runway to see who modeled the best. So the modeling got so passionate and heated that instead of walking, they started dancing against each other. And they would pose like they were voguing for, taking pictures for a camera. So they would stop, take a picture, stop. So that became a dance form that they called voguing. Now this started back in the 60s, and it developed to voguing 30 years later in the 90s. And 20 years later, voguing has gone even further in the ball world. It's not just dancing, it's not just two different categories. It's so many different categories within voguing where people have specialized in that type of voguing only. Where you can only compete, like he said something about voguing femme. That's a totally different category from old school voguing, which is totally different from popping and dipping, which is totally different from, it is so sectioned and categorized and specialized. It's amazing to see it in person, and you gotta give it to somebody who can stand up here and vogue for 15 or 20 minutes. I can barely run for 20 minutes. They're up and down and falling out on the ground. Doing that for 20 minutes and looking like you enjoy it, it takes a lot of stamina, it takes a lot of passion. The balls have grown from small get-togethers and club basements to larger venues all over the country. I started in the House of Revlon as a designer, and I would walk categories like Designer's Delight. That's what they would call it in the 90s. So I would work on an outfit, then I would compete against designers in other houses for money. And it would be $1,000, $1,500, $2,000 cash. Back in the 90s when I would go to balls, they were mostly in New York and Philadelphia. Now the balls are in Chicago, California, Atlanta, and the balls are attended by 1,000 to 2,000 people. And it's not just 1,000 or 2,000 nobodies, it's 1,000 or 2,000 people that have specialized in their category for which they're going to compete against you for. They've traveled, they're determined, and they're focused. So it's a great show. I'm proud to be a part of it. It gives young gay people something to identify with. It gives them something to do, something to work towards. These kids are just enjoying it and loving it. And it's really a sight to see. If you get a chance to go to a ball, you should treat yourself. They start at midnight and they go to about 6 o'clock in the morning. But it's really a feat to see. You get to see artists do what they love to do, what they're really passionate about. The arts start there. It's on the spot, it's spontaneous. It happens right then and there. I mean, yeah, they practice at home before they get there, but it's on the spot, it's spontaneous. It's also good to meet and network with other people that have your same talent, skills, and abilities, because these same people, they're still my friends these days. That ball experience has grown into our own personal businesses. We're all self-employed, we're all doing what we love to do.